I know it's been a long time since I've uploaded a proper video, and I know you're probably wondering what the hell is he doing on Baseball Savant looking at Tim Hill's page. Well, honestly, I've noticed that because I've been getting so many recent subscribers on my account that I've almost been using kind of deactivatedly. Also, sorry for the background noise. It's a fan. It's too hot in my room. The ventilation doesn't work. But yeah, I noticed that recently I've been getting a lot more, there's action on YouTube, and I thought, so many people are subscribing. They're saying that I haven't uploaded in a while. Of course, I uploaded a shorter video. This is going to be like an actual video. I just wanted to kind of do something that I kind of care about, which is baseball, specifically pitching. I myself am a pitcher. I pitched a little bit this year. I plan on pitching in college for my first year. As you can see, I even have the yeah, there it is. You can see right there that I have my college figured out. So I just kind of wanted to run through some guys, look who are some of the best pitchers as of right now, August 19th, 2026. I will be going through on mostly batted ball profile. Myself, I'm a ground ball guy, or I try to be a ground ball guy. And I feel like one of the big parts of being a successful pitcher is this right here, preventing pulled fly balls. Well, actually, just preferably preventing them from pulling balls in general. Of course, you can't really control that as a pitcher. One of the best ground ball pitcher, actually the best ground ball pitcher this year, Tim Hill. The difference between his pull batted balls and straight batted balls are pretty much the same. As you can see, 37.5%, 36.3%. There's not much of a difference. Even being the best ground ball pitcher, 63.3%, you're only gonna limit as much pulled baseballs. But that's why these guys are so effective. A guy like Tim Hill, going back to him. You can see that he has a 4.41 ERA this year, but last year he had a 3.09. If we go back to that, he had a 64% from a negative 24 degree. He also had a cutter. This year you can definitely see that he's struggling because of the slider. But if you look at the slider location, you can definitely see it's a lot more varied. If we go back to last year, we'll see the well, we can kind of see with the cutter, it is a little more varied compared to what did I do? Refresh. You can kind of see right here, yeah, the slider is a little more up, but the cutter was getting more up here. Really was good against righties, also really good against lefties. I say it's good against righties because it was a cutter, now it's a slider. The difference between them now is, well, the cutter, which was a slider last year, it was run arm side, which is something that not good sliders do. One of the guys that comes to my mind is Gunnar Hogland. His slider isn't particularly a good slider, but in the kind of opposite case of Tim Hill here, it's not because it gets negative movement, it's because it gets rise, which is also interesting because of the velocity. His fastball last year, 93.6, so below league average, 35th percentile last year, but it was also, his slider was 97.7 last year, 4 miles per hour faster than average. His sweeper was 2 miles per hour slower than average, and it got less movement all around. Even looking at the pitch distribution too, it's more in line with guys who throw cutters. I would say it's pretty in line with the guy kind of like Merrill Kelly. Yeah, sorry, I'm filming with one hand right now. I'm using my left hand to hold my phone because I don't have a proper camera. Yeah, you can kind of see, kind of right here. You see how that's actually a very shitty example. It's because he throws his changeup more against lefties. But you normally see guys who, if they have a slider and sweeper, they're likely going to increase it. I think another guy actually was oh fuck, what's his name? Was it Wu? No, that's it. There you go, Brian Wu. This year he does have an increased usage of slider, but it's a true slider. 87.1 compared to 86.9, so it's only 0.2 faster. It does get a little less movement, but you can see it too. He uses it more against lefties than he does against righties. So he kind of counteracts that with having a high sweeper rate. But if we go back to last year, which is really what I'm going off of, you can see 12% compared to 10%. You notice you guys who throw cutters like that. So yeah, where's some other guys? Sorry, my arm is just dying. My fingers are dying. Could go to some of the hardest throwers in baseball. Just go to 250. I feel like there's been enough said about guys like Mizrowski and Miller. Edgardo Henriquez, he's been one of the hardest throwers in baseball recently. 105.5 on the 100.5 on the fastball. 100.8 on the sinker. 87 slider, 94 cut, 82 mile/hour curveball. You can see what I was kind of talking about earlier. He uses the cutter, slider, fastball. He's fastball, cutter, slider against lefties, sinker, slider, four seam against righties. Enriquez is interesting because he has such a high ground ball rate and a high strikeout rate. We really don't see that too much. So we can go to here. If we go to K rate, we don't see many. So a guy like Miz, he has a high strikeout rate and a high ground ball rate. I feel like it's mostly because of how he uses his mix. He uses fastball kind of middle up, cutter down and away, slider more down and away. His cutter does kind of run a little middle. Curveball, it's more down, it's getting more grounders. Changeup, it'd be interesting to see that. But a guy like Yohan Duran too, he gets a high amount of ground balls, high amount of strikeouts, and he doesn't walk many guys. He's also one of the few guys in baseball who throws both a changeup and splitter. Of course, the splitter is a unique pitch. It's 97.5. It's considered a splinker, or a hybrid between a splitter and a sinker. Of course, he has a changeup, which kind of acts more like a true splitter. You can even kind of see it if you can look at this. I just realized I can do this. If you look right here, you can definitely see the blue kind of shading outline. That is for the splitter. If we go to the changeups here, it does line up. I can't. Damn. But yeah, he's a few guys who actually throws changeup to splitter. Of course, I can't do less than 100 pitches. So if we go to guys who throw a splitter, we can see, of course, Duran, Skeens. If we look down, Jaden Murray. I have no idea who that is. All right, he's throwing one splitter. That's probably just a misread on a changeup. Yeah, changeup 89 to 88.3 split. This is running very long. Kumar Rocker, again, an interesting one because he has kind of mostly thrown changeups. I wonder if the splitter is a misread. It is 17 pitches though, compared to one from the previous guy. The splitter did look like a new pitch for him. George Kirby, he is one of the guys too who does throw a lot. He threw splitters last year. He threw primarily, he threw these 5 pitches: fastball, sweeper, sinker, curve, splitter. He did start bringing back the changeup, but if we go to 2024, you can see he was full splitter. He dropped the changeup from his rookie year in 22, or he threw that instead of a splitter. Of course, now he is a guy who throws both. Another guy who throws both, I'm actually going to look up, is Tatsuya Imai. Tatsuya Imai is an interesting pitcher to me. I normally do love guys whose, their sliders, they're more arm side. So, a guy like Jacob Lopez or Chris Sale, I love those types of guys. But Tatsuya Imai is such an interesting pitcher to me that I really do want to see how he pans out in the majors. Of course, he does struggle with the walks. I feel like it is mostly because his splitter is most commonly thrown below the zone. He's getting a very, very high whiff rate. He's getting a high strikeout rate, but he's not getting many chase. So if he was able to raise if his chase rate was, I'd say about the 70th percentile, his walk rate would just shoot down from maybe 14% to about 10%. Still not good, but better than what it is. But yeah, he's a guy. He throws splitter, changeup. That's one of the things that we knew when he was coming to majors. Was his distribution of pitches. Of course, he also has a curveball. I haven't seen it much, so I can't give too much on it. I'm sorry if I just like gave somebody a seizure. If we can go back, March 20. Well, that's not helpful. April 4, 2026. He threw 3% curveball, which is probably somewhere about like these two. These were probably this was 4 curveballs I probably threw. But I mean, just looking at the locations, you can kind of see he lost some arm slide. I doubt that they're as arm slide as his slider. Of course, his slider is interesting because it spins out of the hand. He spins it like a regular slider, but the way that it kicks, I actually have a ball for this. So the way he grips it is like this. Sorry that my desk is a mess because I've been moving. The way he grips it is kind of like this, and when he releases it, he tries to get like the perfect gyro spin on it, and it kind of just like folds in on itself, and it just goes side. I wish there was like a better video, but there's like a better way of showing the baseball. But unfortunately, if I show like Pitching Ninja's video on it, I will get murdered. We got other guys, so yeah, we're just looking at fastball velocity. Munoz, he's been having a down year. He's always a guy who's gonna, high strikeout. Yeah, high strikeout, okay on the walks. Let's go back to 2025. He had a 1.73 ERA. This year he has a 4.27. But yeah, high strikeout, high walk. He's also getting a lot of ground balls, mostly because his slider does get good movement. It gets 3 extra inches of drop to about 2 inches extra run. He does have a kind of low slot. He has a 30-degree slot. His fastball kind of 2 seams, runs with him. 13 inches tail, 11 inches tail, 13-inch rise. Sinker, also the big part of it is the velocity. Sinker, 17 inches of tail, 6 inches of rise. The new changeup that he added to the kick change, 91 miles per hour, so it's a really good pitch for that kid's changeup. Gets a lot of drop this year. He's just, it's been kind of the same thing, but he's just struggling. I feel like it's mainly because the barrel rate is up. The barrel rate is up. It seems like his extension is down, but I think it's mostly because of Mazeroski. Barrel and hard hit have regressed. He's not walking as many guys. Still, it's interesting. I just realized this video is 12 minutes long. Percentile. Big thing is like ex-Wobosa, a guy like Bradley Rodriguez. Bradgelly. I watched the Padres. I still don't know how to pronounce his name. One of the reasons why he's been so effective is because, he limits hard hits, he gets ground balls, but he throws hard too. He throws 98 average, 98.3 on the four seam, 97.7 on the sinker. The slider, which last year was deemed as a cutter, the slider, it's been pretty good too, 88.7. Movement comparative. Unfortunately, I can't show you what the slider looks like because MLB will, hurt me. They'll probably have this video taken down, take all my $4. But he's been good at limiting the ball in the air, 15.6% pulled air, 24% fly ball compared to 42.2. So he's about league average on allowing fly balls. He does allow not as many pop-ups. If the king of pop-ups is Hader. Yep. Josh Hader. He kind of breaks the mold for lefties, like kind of low slot lefties and sinkers. I wouldn't say like 31 degrees is low, like a guy like Tim Hill or like a guy like Chris Sale, but 31 degrees, the average is about like 35, 37-ish degrees. But he cuts his sinker so much. It's been deemed as a four seam since 2017. Going up until 2022, it was still labeled a four seam until then. they started getting good reads on his grip, and they realized it is not a four seam; it's a sinker. But he's a guy who, yeah, he gets 41% ground ball, but compared to last year, that was 22.5. He allowed the most amount of balls put in the air. He's always been a guy that kind of struggles with the home run ball, like the fly ball, hard hit fly ball. The only year that he was good at it was 2017, his rookie year, but I think he only threw like 15 pitches that year. Oh no, okay, so he had about half his usual workload. He's about 80% sinker. That's another thing you see. Guys who have such a high sinker usage, so him, guys like Zach Britton, Tim Hill, they have that sinker quality, so ball drops, they get low ball. But really what he reminds me of is Jake McGee. If I can type more than like two fucking letters per hour. Again, I apologize if the camera is shaky. I'm holding it with my offhand. But yeah, he does kind of remind me of a guy like Jake McGee. A lot of fly balls, a lot of fastball usage, really high fastball usage, upwards of like 90%. Like rookie year, he was throwing like 90% four seam. Hater, he was throwing about 80% sinker, which acts like a four seam. At the end of his career, he was averaging about 80-90% four seam. He was not there, and when you look at his slider too, you can kind of see that low slot, not many ground balls, 36% ground ball, 21, 39% ground ball in 22, 20, 36.6, 2019. Like, he's not much of a sinker baller like Hader. But the reason why McGee kind of doesn't work, but Hader does, is because Hader is throwing a sinker. It's such a unique pitch. Gets 8 inches of tail, 18 inches of rise, which even compared to a four seam. So compared to a four seam, that's a kind of cut. Four seam would be, about 16 inches of rise, 10 inches tail. So if we can go to pitch movement, this is probably going to be the last thing I do. We do 100 all four seam fastballs. We're probably going to see a guy like around, I can see a guy like Jack Dreyer that kind of looks similar. 6 inches tail, no. I could just realize I can. So it's about like 8 something. So maybe a guy like Latz. He's getting very similar kind of movement to a guy like Latz. 8 inches. That's 19 inches of rise. It's about 18 for Hader. Yeah, 18.4, 88, 8.8. So yeah, a guy like Josh Hader and a guy like Jacob Latz are very similar in terms of how their fastballs act. If his four seam was deemed as a four seam. Another one, four seam active spin. I completely lied. This is probably gonna be the last one. Looking at Jeffrey Springs, he's a guy who last year I saw a lot out of. I know his changeup is probably one of the better pitches for an A's pitcher from last year. I know it says -2 value. He doesn't get many ground balls, which kind of confused me because looking at how his changeup moved, it kind of moved a bit like a screwball. It'd start right about here on the plate, and it would just move away. So a righty, it would go to like this spot most commonly, like right around here. So, but righties would see it. It'd be coming about right there. It'd move to right there. I was surprised at how little ground balls he got. He got a lot of flat balls, but then I realized, his fastball gets a lot of vert, so it's not exactly helping. This year, he's thrown the slider less. I think this is one of 3 years where he's thrown his slider more than his changeup in his career. And it does not help out that I think it was 2020, 2021. 2020, 2021, he was not the best. 21, he was okay. But this year, he's been dreadful. The slider does not work. The fastball does not work. There's a reason why he's negative in run value. And if we look at the total for everything, if I can fucking find it, there we go. Run value, you know, you see Miz, Cease, Yamamoto, they're all up there. Go to the bottom. Michael Lorenzen is by himself the worst pitcher in baseball. I mean, you didn't hear anything. I mean, you can make cases for some other guys if you could just show me Lorenzen's stuff. But yeah, Nola, Merrill Kelly, Miles Michaelis, Zach Littell, Jeffrey Springs, like all these guys have had some very bad years. Cal Freeland, Brady Singer, Ryan Feltner. I'm just looking at these guys. Herman Marquez. Why the fuck did we sign him in free agency? They didn't hear anything. Griffin Canning, he's been better. You can also unfortunately see a lot of A's players because the A's have dog shit pitching. The only guy who's deemed decent on this team is JT Ginn. No, not JT Shardlaw. Fuck off. Oh, fuck. You can tell I'm getting a little cranky. Well, it's because the A's just blew another game. Springs has a good... Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to show you why I'm pissed off today. This. 7 runs in the 8th. I wonder who we used in the 8th. Alright, so Springs goes a solid like 5 innings. Blew it, comes in, finishes... I think he went 5 something, maybe 6 something. Blew it, comes in, finishes it off. Okay, one of the few times where Scott Blewett does good. We bring in Alvarado. Weird, but okay. Then, in the 8th, we bring in Hayden. Why? Why him? Why him? Medina is fresh. I mean, yeah, I pitched yesterday, but Medina, we can still go to Medina. Instead, you go to this fucking doofus. And then, when Junker starts blowing it, we go to Rom. Rom can't throw a strike for his fucking life. Guess what? All these pitches on the outside happen within like 4 at-bats. So he walks in the game-tying run, and then he throws like an upstairs fastball. I think it's like right here. No, it's right here, somewhere. It's one of these fastballs. He gives up a fucking rocket double, and the A's lose the game. To Seth Lugo, Alex Lang, Craig Kimbrell, and Steven Cruz. If we could just like take a good tangent to look at the A's. Their pitching staff has been dreadful. Negative 181 differential. From one of the best hitting teams in the league. Want to know something? Can I just show the A's? The pitching has been dreadful. Below average, below average, below average. Okay, good, meh, meh, meh. God awful, bad, 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 bad. I don't even think I've seen you pitch a single inning. Who the hell are you? Bad, 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 hurt, by the way. Joe Rock, cool, 19-degree arm slot. Oh, cool, look, you're a guy who you think I'd like, but I don't like you because you're on the A's. So that means you suck. Actually, now that we're looking at him, 7 feet of extension, 93-mile-per-hour fastball, limits barrels. That's what the A's do, apparently. They limit barrels, but they still give up rockets. So let's see. Bad, 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 and hurt. Bad. I don't know why the A's pulled him out. He was struggling in his MLB debut. We all do. We all struggle a little bit. Especially in this guy's debut. He's a good pitcher. We pulled him. Then he got like one more chance. They sent him down. Then they called him back up. And then sent him back down again. All they did was just waste one of his options. This front office deserves to be executed. Apparently he's been good. He is not. Lopez is, I keep saying this, Lopez is one of the best guys in terms of quality of contact. 84, they're only hitting the ball 84 off of him. You know, he's getting 7 feet extension. You're not hitting the ball hard. Yes, they are. They still are. He's lost his strikeout start from last year. If we go to last year, he was kind of better. He was even better, actually. Because he was getting more strike. He was getting a lot of strikeouts, and he was only throwing 90. Yeah, he walked a lot of guys. This year, his strikeout rate's plummeted, his walk rate's plummeted, his confidence is gone, his swagger's gone, his dick is shriveled up. I'm gonna let my emotions get too much of me, but seriously, this team has ruined my sanity. Taylor Rashi, who are you? You cut your fastball a lot, and you have a 73-degree arm. Damn, it's like Oliver Drake. It's like Oliver Drake levels. Holy shit. 73 degrees. That just looks like it hurts. Yeah, Oliver Drake was 77. This is the guy whose splitter moves like a screwball. I can't show you. Just look him up. But like, damn. Oh well, he sucks. 9.28 ERA. Oh look, Mark Leiter, one of the A's big free agent signings. He sucks. A lot. Like he has his 4 ERA lies. This guy has like a 10 ERA. When we watch him, he sucks. Splitters moves like a forkball. It's a 2-seamer. It's a slow curveball. That's another thing with the A's. They have a lot of guys that throw slow curves. So and then Gage Jump has been like the only good pitcher, but he's kind of been hit with the funk of the A's. So yeah, really good mix. He's honestly a guy to watch out for in the future. He's probably one of the only guys who I like watching on this team, but they can't do shit with him. If we go to Hogan Harris, the A's have kind of a thing for slow curveballs. If you look for curveballs for like A's pitchers, 73.9 from Hogan, which is a lot slower. Basso, I would even say that Basso has a slow curve. It's especially weird because it's the lefties who have the slow curves. So yeah, 77.5 from Basso. I have to pull somebody up. I think Krisky. Is Krisky? Yeah, 76.8. I know that's most of the lefties, but there are righties who throw slow curves. Of course, like I said, Leiter. Rashi? Does Rashi throw slow curves? 77.5, yeah. The A's have a weird thing with slow curves. Especially 12.6 curves like this. Though I guess that is kind of more from his arm slot. Everything kind of moves weird. His fastball has a ton of cut. His slider, his splitter, his curve, his swerve. Okay. Apparently pitched last year. Wasn't he with like the Diamondbacks or some shit? But yeah, that's MLB The Show. That's MLB The Show rambling. No, I have a lot more to say about that game. That is me, Baseball Savant, rambling. Slowly losing my mind with the shittiest audio quality you know. I'm gonna enjoy my fucking protein bar. I'm gonna go to sleep, likely crying. Hope you all like this fucking once in a 4-year video. When I'm done with college, maybe I'll see what I do later.